Coming up Thursday night, Duke will be hosting Virginia. He's Mike Krzyzewski, the Duke head coach. He joins us now. What do you do on a night off when you don't have basketball? What are you watching on TV?
Well, you don't have a night off. We have nights that we don't play on, but I'm watching tape, and in between, I'm probably watching another parts of other games, pro and college,
but no regular TV.
My wife sometimes will tape a show, and then like Blue Bloods. I like Tom Selleck.
Yeah.
Criminal Minds. She tapes your show in case I can't fall asleep at night. I turn that on, and then that helps me with insomnia.
What was the? I had the under 1 minute before the first dig, and it was right.
No, it's not. Why is that a dig?
About falling asleep.
That was not a dig. I want to thank you for.
Why help you, but you hurt me? So
look. Sometimes people laugh and have fun listening to your show. Isn't it neat that you can hit another audience out there?
Like senior citizens that I put to sleep.
Yes, and I am. I'm 66 years old. I'm looking for stuff like that. Hot milk and Dan show, 1 o'clock in the morning, and by 1:11, you're out.
Well, it's kind of tough, though, sometimes for you. If you're on the West Coast, that's way past your bedtime.
Man, it's, I got to be careful.
You could get tired during a game.
I do get
sleepy.
Tired. I'm not sleepy. I'm never sleepy during a game. Not yet, at least. And but tired, yeah, you can get tired.
I was wondering about this as we head towards March Madness. The specialty of the regular season is lost. It's hard for me to get geared up with games anymore like we once did. And I just, is it time? I know we can't go back and say, let's have fewer teams in the tournament, but how could we make the regular season more important?
Well, I actually think this regular season has been pretty exciting. And I think because there's so many teams that have a chance to win. There are more stories out there of guys doing great coaching jobs and kids really playing well. I mean, you go from coast to coast. I mean, Gonzaga's story, they've been good, but Mark Few's done an amazing job with this team. Steve Alford at New Mexico. Larry Eustace at Colorado State, Kansas State, what they're doing. The Big Ten, they've had half their conference in the top 10 at some time this season. What Miami has done in our conference, Georgetown is doing. So there hasn't been that one or two star player or star team, Indiana coming the closest. But I think that's been good for college basketball. And it's been promoted better, like the journey to the tourney, what you're trying to get to. So I do think college basketball is making some strides in that regard, and we have to continue to look at that into the future with all this conference realignment.
Where are we going, though, with the number of teams in the tournament?
I don't know that you would change the number of teams in the tournament. It'll be interesting in the next decade what happens with these top conferences, and where do they fit in the NCAA? Do you start another division within the NCAA? Do those conferences do something on their own? Both those questions beg answers. And if either one of those things happen, then you might look at how teams get into the tournament and what teams can get into the tournament. But that's not going to happen for at least a little bit. But stuff like that can happen. There's no question about it. And the conference situation is not over. There's still going to be change. And I'm glad that the 7 schools from the Big East who are basketball dominated have they're together, and more schools will join that. That'll become I think that'll become one of the really major basketball conferences. Our conference is going to be huge on the it has been, but it'll be as good or better than anybody with the schools that are coming into our conference.
He's Mike Krzyzewski, Duke head coach, joining us. Do you think you'll catch Boeheim? Do you care about catching Boeheim on the all-time victory list?
At one school, you mean?
Yeah.
No, I hope Jim and I coach for as long as Jim may end up coaching longer than me because he has younger kids. He's and he does it in a great way. And he and I are close friends. I mean, we've worked together with USA Basketball, and the two of us together work pretty well. And actually, we work pretty well separately.
But how important is it to be the all-time victory leader in college basketball?
Well, I think you're just the leader for a certain period of time because somebody will always break that.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I just think it's so difficult because coaches don't stay in one place, and they're constantly moving around. I don't think they're going to stay in the game as long. I think the money is so much better. I just don't think they'll stay for 30, 35 years.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But there's more games like, when Coach Wooden, when that era was coaching, we have more games in a season. So, I don't know what the landscape of college basketball will be in the next 25 years. Will you play more games?
That's interesting. Yeah.
Will you, or less, or what will happen? That has, but we end up playing. You end up playing about 40 games, and before someone was 28-2, that was unbelievable, and that was the end of the season. So that adds up, and the main thing is you have to have good health. I think I had 1 year where I didn't have good health, but overall I've been lucky, and then I've been lucky to be at a school that where I've stayed and developed a program, and we can win here. And guys will do that. I mean, there is a lot more money, but maybe that means guys stay in longer than less. I don't know.
Is the last time you got a job offer was the Lakers?
Formally, yeah.
Okay. So you've had informal job offers? Yeah,
but not lately because I've just, first of all, I'm close. I'm 66 years old, and
but NBA teams have contacted you in previous years, aside from the Lakers.
Yeah.
Like
I
who?
mean, just feelers, but that happens to a lot of guys. There are a lot of guys out there. That is, that's like calling for a date. When they give you a formal offer, then they want to get married. And
did Mark Cuban ever call you?
No.
Can we run down the teams here?
No.
Oh, okay.
Do that.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to do that.
All right.
And the other thing is, a lot of times you're talking to NBA people about some other, some player, like I've had a lot of interaction with NBA because of the international game, and with the last 7 years of coaching the U.S. team. So,
and I know you got. I know you have to go, but I want to ask you. So the Olympic team.
Yeah.
You're back on board?
No.
Oh, you're not. Okay.
No, and they'll make an announcement on that during the summer. And that's the normal time that they do it because.
But you're not doing it.
No, I'm not doing it.
Are you recommending somebody?
No, it's not. That's not my decision.
Okay.
I'll support obviously 100% whatever staff is named because we've put a lot into it. And the key figure in all this is Jerry Colangelo, who, thank God, he took over. For USA Basketball, and I wish somebody would do that, like for college basketball, where you have somebody running it. I think.
How about
model,
you?
I'm sorry.
How about you?
No, that's fine. It doesn't have to be a coach. it would have to be somebody who really understood the mechanisms that, all the mechanisms, the levers of power within the NCAA, TV, have amazing relationships with the conference commissioners. Really, someone a little bit of a politician, and Jerry did that and has done it for USA Basketball. The guy who, when we talked about this 20-something years ago, they should have done it in the early 90s. Dave Gavitt would have been by far the best.
Great man.
Great, one of the greatest men of all time. And Colangelo, Jerry's right there. They're exceptional people, and you have to find someone who's exceptional like that for such a huge responsibility.
Thanks for reaching out after I had my shoulder surgery 2 weeks ago. Very nice of you. I appreciated all the flowers.
You know what? I don't want to baby you.
I know that.
I don't want to baby you. You always wanted to be Coach Tough.
Yeah.
And for me to say nice things, or I want you back quick.
But when I came out of the anesthesia and you said, "Stop crying, you big baby," and I said, "Okay," and I understood that. So,
Well, it was a moment that we shared.
You know what I did after shoulder surgery?
What did you do?
I slapped the floor. As soon as I came out of being under, I slapped the floor and was ready to play some defense, Coach.
That's my Dan.
Thank you, Coach. Good to talk to you.
All right.
Talk to you during the tournament. Thank you, Coach.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Mike Krzyzewski, Duke head coach.